Ọlọ́run àtijọ́ ní pẹ́ kó tó sọ̀rọ̀ kó tó gbèjà ẹ̀dá tàsìkò yìí ọkọ̀ ojú òfurufú ní ń lò ẹni tí ó parọ́ ni yóò sọ wípé ẹlẹ́rìí òun ń bẹ lọ́run gbogbo àwa tí a bá ń tẹ̀lé ọ̀rẹ́ wa Òpìtàn nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn ó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn nǹkan kan pàápàá jùlọ bàbá wa Prọfẹ́sọ̀ Toyin Falola kọ́lọ́run ó jẹ́ ká rí bàbá yìí pẹ́ mo nígbàgbọ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ti báwọn nǹkan kan pàdé nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá yìí sọ ẹ máa wá rántí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tí bàbá sọ ńlé mi Àkàndọ̀rọ̀ Awikonko ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ bàbá fi indicate mi bàbá testify sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ sì rèé àwọn èèyàn kan ní àlọ́ là ń pa wọ́n á ní wọ́n ń pa láẹnu ni ẹni tí ń pa àlọ́ láàrin wa nísìnyí àmọ́ ẹni tí ń pa lásẹ̀nu àmọ́ so mo kí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi tí ń wọlé oore tá a ṣe fájà ló lè gbé èyí tá a ṣe fágbọ̀n ní jòdànù èyí tá a ṣe fálìmọ́ ń jèrè Ọlọ́run ọba ní sanni lẹ́san rẹ̀ oore kan oṣù tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe fúnran káàárọ̀ òjíire ni pé kẹ́ bá ń pín prógráàmù yìí ṣé ẹ gbàgbé mi ò tó ìran níṣẹ́ o ṣùgbọ́n kẹ́ bá mi fìfẹ́ ṣe kó lè jàǹfààní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ká lè sọ̀rọ̀ tá a fẹ́ sọ láàrin ìṣẹ́jú péréte ká dẹ̀ kúrò lórí ètò pápápá ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo fẹ́ sọ kì í sọ̀rọ̀ tí mo lè bá èèyàn péréte sọ ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo lè bá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn sọ ni bí ó bá wá tásìkò láti sọ ọ̀rọ̀ tá a lè sún sọ́jọ́ iwájú ni ntọ́ wà ń bẹ̀ nù ńlọ́jẹ́ mọ̀ sọ wípé kẹ́yìn bàbá àti màmá mi kẹ́ mọ́ pè mí lọ́mọdé torí pé iṣu ẹni kì í fi ní pe ọmọdé kọ́ mọ́ ta ọmọdé ló gbésù ní àgbà ló gbésù ní yóò ta ọmọdé ló gbìn gbàdo ní àgbà ló gbìn gbàdo ní yóò ta iṣu ẹni kì í fi ní pe ọmọdé kọ́ wa torí ẹ̀kọ́ mọ́ ta kó torí pé ọmọdé ni wá ká wá gbésù kọ́ mọ́ ta kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sì lè rí bẹ́ẹ̀ torí pé níta bá kì í sébè láwà padà níta bá ṣe kí níta bá kì í sébè òun láwà padà so mo kí ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé ìbànújẹ́ òní kàn yín kò ní tọ́ sí yín àwọn èèyàn tí ń wọlé dáadáa lórí Facebook ó kù lórí YouTube àwọn èèyàn tí ń wọlé lórí YouTube so àṣé ìran káàárọ̀ òjíire àṣà fẹ́ràn ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire àṣé bàbá ń jà bíi ti kákúkọ́ kì í ṣe kí àjèjì ọmọ fọwọ́ òsì júwe lé bàbá wa ànígbà kò ní tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ò ní pé lọ́pọ̀ ọgbà a máa sọ pé àìjónírọ́ purọ́ ìjà ní dálẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n lọ́pọ̀ ọgbà a máa pé bí rọ́bà ti ń pọ̀ jù a máa fẹ́ di òótọ́ a máa fẹ́ jọ òótọ́ ìdí ni pé bí n ta bá máa jẹ ọ̀bá sí n ta bá rí ńlẹ̀ náà là á máa jẹ mi ò wá láti wá rọ́bìṣì iṣẹ́ rìn kankan mo wá láti wá gbìyànjú kí n fìdí òótọ́ múlẹ̀ torí pé àwọn tí wọ́n láwọn ń sọ̀tàn wọ́n ń fìtàn ṣègbè ẹ̀ ń bá ti ń fìtàn ṣègbè kò ní lè sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ so ó jẹ́ ìdùnnú fún mi pé Professor Toyin Falola wọ́n sọ the same thing tí mo sọ and I swear to Almighty God mi ò tí ì ka Professor Toyin Falola kankan mo fi Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè mo fi búra ṣùgbọ́n mo gbà wọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ni máa ń rí fáà sí wọn báwọn èèyàn bá fẹ́ bí mi lè rọra Awikonko ṣé ti ka ìwé Professor Toyin Falola máa ní tí ì ka ẹ láti gẹ̀ẹ́tì àwọn kọ́pì yẹn ó túmọ̀ sí wípé ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ńlá ni bàbá yìí lójò lẹ́ẹ̀rùn ńgbà tí wọn ò tí ì bí àwa tàbí táwọn ò tí ì mọ nǹkan kan ni bàbá yìí ti ń ṣàkójọ oríṣiríṣi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan nínú ìtàn nílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire bàbá ti wá dàgbà wọ́n ti lé ní 100 ọdún kọ́lọ́hún ọba jẹ́ kí wọ́n pẹ́ láyé dáadáa but I am very very happy pé bàbá yanjú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan nínú ọ̀rọ̀ aáwọ̀ tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Ọọ̀ni àtàláàfin ìdí ni pé àwọn ti dàgbà ọmọ 100 ọdún ìrírí wọn kò lákàwé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan ló sojú tiwọn tí ò sojú tiwa táwa bá nù tàn so lára nǹkan tó sojú wọn ńlá gbìyànjú tá a máa sọ lónìí ṣé ẹ gbàgbé èmi àkàndọ̀rọ̀ Awikonko wá sẹ́yìn Ọ̀yọ́ Àtìbà tá a wà yìí mo ní wọn ò ní connection wọn ò ní blood relation pẹ̀lú Ilé Ifẹ̀ mọ́ Professor Falola ti vindicate mi láti jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé wọn ò tán mọ́ Ifẹ̀ mọ́ ìran Ọ̀rànmíyàn táwọn ń pè lọ́ranyàn ó ti tán lọ́yọ̀ọ́ sòyẹ́ ti túmọ̀ sí wípé mi ò pa àlọ́ mi ò sì pa lásẹ̀nu mi ò pa láẹnu ìyẹn ti túmọ̀ sí pé mi ò sáré ìrí sọ àsìkò ń bọ̀ tí màá wá jáde láti sọ wípé aṣọ tálejò wọ̀ tí ń sọ̀jìká onílé ní lílo kan tí ìkànnì mi nígbà àsìkò yín rárá unfortunately àwọn èèyàn mi ò tí ì wọlé dáadáa lórí YouTube ń bí ṣùgbọ́n mo nígbàgbọ́ pé wọ́n wọlé wọ́n bá wa lórí ètò ẹ jẹ́ ká jẹ́ kí wọ́n bá wa ká má torí wọn dá ètò dúró ká lè sọ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ sọ ká lè tètè kúrò ní àyín torí tá a bá wojú aago ní nǹkan tá aago ti sọ balẹ̀ bá sì lẹ́ ṣe la fọmọ ayò fáyò ṣùgbọ́n ká má gbàgbé náà gbígbà tálẹ́ bá lẹ́ náà la tó máa ń fara nísinmi àákò tálẹ́ bá lẹ́ ńlá tó máa ń nàyìn ńlá tó máa ń nara la tó máa ń sọ pé ó dáa náà látàárọ̀ tí mo ti lọ ẹjẹ́ ń tiẹ̀ wá gbọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹjẹ́ mọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹjẹ́ mọ̀ tí ń lọ láàrin ìlú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń bẹ́ ní odò ọ̀pù nísìnyí láwọn ìgboro káàkiri ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wà lójú ọ̀nà àjò sínú ilé ṣùgbọ́n lọ́n ti fún wa lórí ọ̀fẹ́ pẹ̀lú fóònù wa tí nẹ́tíwọ̀kì bá ti ń bẹ lórí ẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan tá a lè rí ìrànlọ́wọ́ ẹyọ kan tẹ́sí fún mi náà ni pé ẹ bá ń pín prógráàmù yìí ẹ ràn mí lọ́wọ́ ẹ ràn ìran tèmi yìí lọ́wọ́ because àwọn tó dàgbà jù wá lọ wọ́n ti ń lo sáà tí wọ́n lọ àwa náà ń lo sáà tí wá bọ̀ àwọn tí ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn wa ń lo sáà tí wọ́n bọ̀ iwájú yìí Mr. Àsìkòláyé tẹ́ ẹ kí mi káàbọ̀ pẹ̀lú stíkà ẹ ní mọ bójì ọmọ so Professor Toyin Falola nínú ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ lórí ètò kan wọ́n sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ kí wá ló jẹ́ kí inú mi ó dùn kí ló gbé mi wá gangan ni pé àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo ti sọ bàbá mi tẹ̀ ẹ́ ló ń tẹ̀ pé bó ṣe rí nù. ẹ̀rọ wa wípé ìgbà tí Aláàfin ọ̀wọ́ adédé àwọn advice ẹ̀ torí tó mú béèrè wá ni pé èmi lọ gbà ìwọ la gbà èmi òjò ìwọ òjò mẹ́ láàrin Ọọ̀ni àtàláàfin kí ló bí ṣé yóò tán àwọn bàbá ilé yìí wọ́n ti jẹ́ nǹkan fẹ́ jẹ́ wọ́n ti dá nǹkan fẹ́ dà wọ́n ò ní bẹ̀rù ẹnì kankan mọ́ Ọlọ́run tó rán wọn ń ṣẹ́ nìkan ni wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù láti lọ jíṣẹ́ fún. Yèyé Ọ̀túnba, God bless you ma, mi ò ní wáyé tì mà. So Ọlọ́run tó rán wọn ń ṣẹ́ nìkan ló kù tí wọ́n ń bẹ̀rù. So wọn ò ráàyè láti fi ọ̀rọ̀ ṣègbè. Now pápápá ìgboyà àti òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ni ó mú mi fẹ́ràn. God bless you sir, God bless you ma, mi ò ní wáyé tì, mi ì fẹ́ gbàsìkò yín rárá, mi ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ lu àmì fàágùn torí ó wà very very important. Kí n sọ nǹkan tí ń sọ, kí n release ẹ̀yin ìyá àti bàbá mi, káyọ̀sẹ̀ máa drag tí ò nídìí yẹn kò sí ní culture mi. So kó tó di pé wọ́n ṣe ìwúyè fún Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ Adé ni Professor Toyin Falola náà ti advice Aláàfin. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ńgbà tí mo jáde ń jọ orin mo ní empire ti lọ, empire ti kú, empire ti ṣubú, wípé nísìn ìdàgbàsókè ìlú ló yẹ kó jẹ àwọn ọba aládé wa lógún, kì í ṣe supremacy, kì í ṣe èmi làgbà. You are a fool for always insulting Aláàfin, orí ẹ ti dàrú. Ọ̀nà wo ni mo ti wá insult Aláàfin nísìn? Ẹjẹ́ àyọkù láàrin àwọn èèyàn gidi. Ọ̀nà wo ni mo ti insult Aláàfin nísìn? Mo ní wọ́n advice Aláàfin, ó ní wọ́n insult Aláàfin. Ọ̀nà wo láti wá insult Aláàfin? Ara àwọn Fúlàní tí ń bẹ láàrin wa nù. Ọmọ gànfẹ́, ọmọ bàrùbá. Torí pàṣírí yín ti tú, àjẹ́kàṣírí yín ó bò. Ayé yín ti tapa o bí ìgbàdo. Now bàbá ti advice Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ Adé ní gẹ́ngẹ́rẹ́ tí wọ́n ti pick Aláàfin, because advice yìí wáyé ní January 13, 2025. April 5th ńlá dẹ̀ ṣe wúyè. Ó túmọ̀ sí pé ẹni tó wẹjú lẹ̀rú ń bà. Bàbá wa tí wọ́n ti lé ní 80 years, àgbà ni wọ́n, nǹkan bá rí lórí ìjókòó bá a gorí kòkó àwòsí mẹ́ta papọ̀ a lè rí. Ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n wá lọ́mọ kékeré kan tí wọ́n ń pè ní Àkàndá ọ̀rọ̀ Awikonko tó ná lójú inú, tó lójú ìwòye láti wo sàkún ntí ọ̀sìlẹ̀. Oore ọ̀fẹ́ aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ ni, kò kárí. Now bàbá wa ní Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ Adé and Yoruba Renaissance, January 13, 2025. Toyin Falola. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ dáadáa o, ẹ̀yin òbí mi, ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó wà lórí ìtàkùn ayélujára. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ dáadáa, ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà on record. It is an open secret that I was close to the late Alaafin Lamidi Adeyemi III. He was fond of reading my essays and books. He put them to use to validate some of his decisions. Ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ tí bàbá wa Aláàfin àná ń gbé, ìwé Professor Toyin Falola ni wọ́n máa ń fi ṣe reference. Bí bàbá Aláàfin ò bá nígbàgbọ́ nínú Professor Toyin Falola, wọn ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ wọn ṣe reference. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn sẹ́ẹ̀ ni máa ń recommend ìwé wọn fún mi pé Awikonko, ó ti kàwé Professor Toyin Falola, wàhálà ìkẹ́ gan o. Tí mo máa ń fi òní dóní fọ̀ládọ́là pé máa wá àwọn ìwé wọn láti máa kà. This is high time tí máa wà. Kí ló jẹ́ kí kinní yìí ó dùn ni pé ọ̀rẹ́ mi ò pìtàn tí ń bẹ ń Ìbàdàn, ọmọ ń rìfà sí ìwé wọn pé àwọn ìwé wọn wà lára nǹkan tó ń kà. Àwọn nǹkan tó ń wá sọ pé bàbá sọ kò sí rẹ́bẹ̀ rárá. Ntẹ́mi sọ ni bàbá mi sọ ọrú ẹ̀. Mr. Asikolaye, mi ní wáyé sir, God bless you sir. So he put them to use to validate some of his decisions. He sent some of his writings to me for comments. I discussed a project on the creation of an Oyo museum with him. I was the keynote speaker when he turned 80, and I suggested Alaafinology as an academic discipline. There were moments when he had critical challenges about the governor to or re-election. He was profoundly troubled about whether to support Jonathan Goodluck or Muhammadu Buhari, and he sought counsel from various people, including my humble self. He wanted to make me a chief, and I said we should wait till he was 90 years old. He attended 4 of my functions and presided over my 65th birthday ceremony. This peace is not offered to continue any established relationship with Oyo and its palace, but to play the role of an elder, providing advice to the new Alaafin, who has now used the throne of his ancestors to become my superior. I must prostrate to him, even though I am older. His appointment is now formalized by receiving the staff of office and the certificate from Oyo State Governor on January 13, 2024. The announcement from the palace that he will embark on a 21 days preparation, bóyá 2025 ń dádì mi fẹ́ kọ. Palace that he will embark on a 21-day preparation is heartwarming. He must do the rites as prescribed by tradition. The sacred nature of the institution must be preserved. First, he must understand the context of history. The sacred nature of the institution must be respected. Yoruba people are meticulous in their advancement and civilization. Every anthropologist and historian who is in the habit of studying the Yoruba people would reveal to you how they built their civilization bricks by bricks, exposed to the same socio-spiritual trajectory. They have created an enabling and safe environment for their identity with great pride in what and who they are. For millennia, Yoruba people charted a course of history demonstrating their forebears' valor. These long-term thinkers devised different means to cope with the prevailing predicament that nature throws at them. When external forces threaten expansionist aggression, Yoruba people found ways to absorb their prayer to survive as an identity. Their determination to be an identity, especially in the face of mortal danger, lies in the understanding that when broken into smaller units, they become vulnerable, and that would potentially mean that they risk the prospect of eliminating their race of the surface of the earth. They have had to deal with internal problems to keep themselves afloat in the politics of life. After all, survival is the most instinctual response humans and animals give to every dangerous encounter. Second, he must learn history. I can reveal to the new Alaafin that this immediate predecessor took time to understand history. Alaafin Adeyemi's power of retentive memory was second to none. He had a memory arsenal covering almost 500 years. Alaafin Owode must know history. This is not a difficult task. He could inherit what Alaafin Adeyemi created. A cluster of scholars under the leadership of Professor Akin Alao of Obafemi Awolowo University. The new Alaafin could call on professors Toyin Adesina, Olukoya Ogen, Siyan Oyeweso, Olufunke Adeboye, and others to prepare him for history lessons. Both Oyeweso and Adesina were very close to your predecessor, Alaafin Adeyemi III, who had commissioned the duo to embark on the Oyo Oral History Project. In October 2018, the duo organized an international conference titled Alaafin in Yoruba History, Culture and Political Power relations. Mo níwèé yẹn lọ́wọ́. In honor of Alaafin Adeyemi, where I served as the keynote speaker, he must remember that what remains constant is that while charting such historical undertakings in their past, both Oyo and Ile-Ife have been very prominent in determining the direction of their growth. In other words, these two urban communities were central to their sustenance as a people from time to time. They have adapted and given room for the rise of subgroups among them who would defend the Yoruba civilization and identity. In their recent history, Ibadan rose as the garrison of the Yoruba military power, saddled with the responsibility of repelling external threats to protect their common interest. The new Alaafin must not engage in historical revisionism as his counterparts now do. Rewriting history is dangerous. Ó ti wà dangerous nísìnyí o. As insane, the Benin Empire owes little to Ile-Ife and Oramiyan. Conflating Ugbo with Igbo is a wrong-footed interpretation of the past. He needs not to dabble into issues of superiority. This is why I come. Egbole can say, he needs not to dabble into issues of superiority around who the superior king was in the past. Oyo and Ile-Ife are constant in the people's history because they represented the seats of economic and political power and the spiritual rallying point of the Yoruba people. Let him explore the consensus around the historical prestige, the foundation of prominent Yoruba ancestors, and the creation of a glorious history. The late Alaafin was bold in the right ways. The boldness of taking initiatives and profound actions that brought Oyo to the preeminence that it enjoys in the history of the Yoruba people puts it on a close cultural pedestal with other powerful kingdoms. The Oyo Empire remains strong in the history of the black people. That accomplishment is associated with Oyo and the political dynasty, which saw the sub-nation's centuries-long imperial power over its environment. To that extent, when preserving Yoruba identity and integrity, it is assumed that both Ile-Ife and Oyo save their race. I am a chief of the Ga in Ghana, and without Ile-Ife and Oyo, the Yoruba's reach to modern-day Ghana would not have been possible. The new Alaafin must visit all West African countries in solidarity. Going to Abidjan and the Gambia must be mandatory. He must re-energize cultural diplomacy to rebuild Pan-Yorubana. As he rebuilds Pan-Yorubana, one of the most critical assignments for every Alaafin is to galvanize his royal authority to reinvigorate the consciousness of the Yoruba people, generally both at home and abroad. For illustration, being the second in command to the supernatural forces, tradition dictates that no first-class Yoruba Oba should bow for anyone, not even their biological parents. For the action of genuflecting by people of such authority means submission, not only of themselves, but also the collective Yoruba, irrespective of their sub-nations. Alaafin Owode is not part of the Sokoto Caliphate. No one has given him a flag. Yes, he's a Muslim, but he must see himself first as a Yoruba before being a Muslim. He is not the king of Muslims, but the king of the Yoruba people. He must not be associated with the expansion of the Sharia. He is an Alaafin, a cultural Yoruba leader, not an emir, al-Mumini, the commander of the faithful. The day he gets drawn into political Islam, that day his rule is over. Like his predecessor, he must be associated with Iseshe. It is no coincidence that the stool of Alaafin is associated with Shango, that ferocious king creating the foundation of electricity and thermodynamics. Shango was one of the founders of science, a deity and king who presented boldly and exuded confidence and whose authority was widespread. As a deity, Shango is known to be the custodian of fire energy and could consume things which range within a self-contained grid. Alaafin Adeyemi continued with the adoption of Shango, reaching far into the diaspora to consolidate that knowledge. The new Alaafin can convert this into modern science and seek the means to create technological hubs. A science academy can tap into an indigenous knowledge system while using the most expansive modern knowledge to move Oyo forward. The new Alaafin must understand the need for contemporary leadership that is ethical and people-oriented. The socio-cultural import of Yoruba history is that anyone sitting on that stool would inherit such character of leadership because they are meant to repel danger away from the Yoruba world. Nobody will do this when they cannot take leadership responsibilities and initiatives. In essence, the Alaafin can make other chiefs accountable for their people and the Yoruba populace generally by making them take charge of what is expected. Nobody can deny that the collective sweat of Yoruba people is a shared responsibility of the people irrespective of where they are from. But central in such reality is the Alaafin, who would always make himself available for his people. As such, he is expected to call them to order when he notices things are not moving. Nobody dares to undermine the authority of the Alaafin among the Yoruba people. For that reason, the new Alaafin should immediately take the authority of his office to see to the installation of the proper virtues of the thrones of Yoruba kings. The position of Oba is an exclusive toil of selfless and relentless figures who are deeply rooted in indigenous power, and it should not be usurped by people masking their desire to place their expansionist allies. The moral authority of the new Alaafin must not be compromised by atenuje and ijekuje. We should not see him drinking beer in public and frolicking with women of cheap virtues. Oba Owade must not debase his office by collecting money from visa applicants who want to follow him to visit foreign lands. If you want to wear his gym suit, please do not go on major streets in London. We can arrange private spaces for you. Alaafin Adeyemi consumed moderately ogi and maimai in the morning and amala with one piece of meat in the afternoon. Ká jẹ́ pé èmi nìkan kọ́ ni mo máa ń jẹ ẹran kan àti bàbá mi náà mọ ẹran kan náà bàbá mi á máa jẹ. One cannot say because he is a king, he will consume more salt than the commoners. Royalty is not about the consumption of massive bowls of food daily. Enjoyment with friends can be confined to secret spaces. Today, some Obas collect envelopes to attend events, including naming ceremonies. This is a no. Alaafin Adeyemi gave me money, including written substantial check. When I turned 65, When Alaafin Owode picks small checks from his subjects, the gossip spread faster and undermines his authority. In recent times, Yoruba cultural values have expanded beyond the shores of its immediate boundaries, and it does require that a more coordinated strategy must be used to place Yoruba future at a vantage position where it will become impregnable to be overcome. Here is a tool. Here is a to-do list. The Alaafin must visit Cuba, Brazil, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and Grenada. The new Alaafin is expected to put Oyo on the global map by unearthing, promoting, and sustaining the Yoruba race's history, tradition, and culture as one of its chief custodians. Beyond its impressive artistic expression, Oyo's breathtaking creature and rich Yoruba traditions cannot but promote the ubiquitous touristic potentials of Oyo and Yoruba land. It must reignite the consciousness of the people towards embracing their historical values. Oba Adeyemi warmed himself into many people's minds because he was fearless. He worked very hard to get his facts right, and when convinced of a matter, he dared to speak up his conviction. He was even-handed in dealing with people and situations, and the motto of his reign was justice and mercy. He believed that culture was the principal magistrate of a person's life. He must promote the Yoruba language. It is the best thing that the Alaafin can do to plant the consciousness of the Yoruba race into the hearts of its descendants and admire who now occupy different places of the world. Yoruba language must be revived as a language of technology in ways that anyone using for whatever is produced by the Yoruba people will be smitten by the profundity of their culture. To achieve this, the Alaafin can harness the political and economic power that Eledumare has granted to the descendant of Oduduwa and create foundations for the technologizing of Yoruba history, industry, and economy. The Alaafin must connect very keenly with Ile-Ife. The Alaafin must connect very keenly with Ile-Ife to defeat the possibility of internal contradictions and strife that could trigger implosion based on 6 self-serving ambitions. It is important to note that the world continues to showcase its capacity for self-destruction, especially in ways that some are hell-bent on running everything. To be safe in such conditions, people must devise ways to be safe collectively. The responsibility to attain this rests on the shoulders of Alaafin and other first-class kings in Yoruba land, and they should not delay swinging into action. He must promote culture, from music to songs, literature to any form of art generally. The descendants of Oduduwa have demonstrated that an inexhaustible content is achieved in the animals of Yoruba history. It does require a coordinated mechanism to help promote such engagement, to increase the popularity of Yoruba and make their people embrace their identity they have had reasons to conceal for a long time. It must promote peace. Yoruba people are easygoing peaceful and tranquil. They are constantly seeking ways to allow them to make maximum impact without being subjected to malicious treatment or being taken advantage of by people who miscalculate their calmness for idiocy. However, recent developments have indicated that internal contradictions are imminent except if the people come together and understand what is at stake when they allow themselves to be used by external forces whose predominant ambition is to exploit and subject Yoruba race to generational subservience. He must have foresight. The Alaafin is responsible for using his foresight to solve problems that have yet germinate. This is the thought of generations of Alaafin who lived thousands of years ago, and that tradition must be sustained in contemporary times. When they continue to promote Yoruba interest, they will have a better chance of establishing a sound economy power base that will help the descendants of Oduduwa remain relevant for ages to come. While he must respect all religious leaders, he must not go to Pentecostal churches to kneel for pastors to place their hands on him. He could do so in private. He must continue with the initiative to build a museum at Oyo. UNESCO has declared Ifa as a heritage site in Oyo. It is essential to complement this with a modern museum accessible to its people from far and near. Within a few weeks of the passing of Alaafin Adeyemi, the distinguished Professor Isaac Albert called me to say that we must collect all his extraordinary dresses and regalia to be part of a museum. But without urgent security control, loot seekers immediately plunder parts of the palace. This must never happen again. Summon prominent leaders to a meeting and let them understand the roles they will have to play in protecting the interest and integrity of the Yoruba people. Because when the home is peaceful and safe, its children would have the confidence to invest back there. If you do not undermine the political authority of political leaders, they are historically under your jurisdiction, and you should use the power vested in you by the immaterial forces to propel Yoruba people to greatness by suggesting ways through which they can protect the Yoruba people on the land that their forefathers bequeathed unto them. You must anticipate the infiltration of Yoruba land by forces that do not mean well for Yoruba people, and work with other traditional rulers and stakeholders to map out strategies to preempt and forestall such infiltration. A mechanism to erect a non-physical wall of defense against external aggression should be implemented in Yoruba land. You should take the lead in pushing this initiative forward. Yoruba land must promise economic, spiritual, intellectual, ideological, political, and environmental safety for all indigenes of Oduduwa, irrespective of their sub-nations. They should not become second-class citizens in their land, fought for with the blood of their ancestors. It must become the most fertile land for everyone, irrespective of race, gender, and religion. Adopt an intellectual committee system in addition to the existing traditional chieftaincies. To further modernize the system, you can have intellectual advisory committees on history, culture, politics, education, economic, etc. As a matter of urgency, the Alaafin must constitute the Oyo Development Committee along the lines of the Ondo Development Committee, ODC, a vibrant organization. An experienced biographer of ODC who can be contacted is the renowned administrator and distinguished scholar, Professor Femi Mimiko, who once sent a note to me saying, and I quote, "In the Ondo Development Committee, ODC, we stay on course. We aim to support the king and the kingdom in developing our community. Development since the last Ekimogun Day has been good. Some of our people have come out to work on the project they sponsored, while we in the ODC have continued working on our infrastructure and other social projects. With this, our streets are better built. Some of our schools are being rebuilt, and the projects we embark on, like the Igba electronic market, continue to grow. We have always realized that the government cannot do it alone, and thank God that we have great people with pronounced friends that are supporting our doubting visions by taking up some of the responsibilities of our development. The Alaafin can create an Oyo microfinance bank on strict professionalism to recapitalize low-income people, while the late Alaafin was generous in granting scholarships to people. This should be formalized into a modern banking system where people can take loans and repay. The Ashanteman Council negotiated a World Bank loan to empower thousands of farmers. A professional team not interested in corruption can do the same for Oyo. In relation to the proceeding, royal institutions must now center on development. In the past, Yoruba Obas did not rule their domains as mere mortals. The sacredness, rituals, and myths associated with the Yoruba monarchical system are among the few reasons why Yoruba traditional systems and values garnered so much respect and admiration. However, against the backdrop that the all reference, rituals, and mysteries associated with the Yoruba royalty have dissipated over the years, contemporary Yoruba monarchical institutions will now be judged on the practical benefits they can bring to their subjects. It is this charitable purpose, more than anything else, that promises to restore and sustain royal popularity and respectability. The new Alaafin, we have to look inward and see how Oyo and by extension Yoruba land can further be developed socio-economically, culturally, and sustainably. The new Alaafin's reign must usher in an Oyo monarchy that has moved far away from royal jamborees and the prosecution of supremacy battles to being an institution of value that is contributing significantly to the realization of goal number 11.4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which has to do with the promotion of indigenous culture. Indeed, culture is at the heart of the SDGs. Culture is who we are and what shapes our identity. Placing culture at the heart of development policies is the only way to ensure human-centered, inclusive, and equitable development. Security. Alaafin Adeyemi III paid attention to this, and I can confirm that he spent much of his money securing many places under his authority. To the newly emerged Alaafin Abimbola Akeem Owode, I reawaken your consciousness by revealing that your role in keeping the Yoruba people in national and global politics is sacrosanct, because Eledumare chose you. Hundreds of Irunmales and your forebears are behind you. I cannot doubt the innate possibilities you have to consolidate the rise of Oyo and the Yoruba people worldwide in a global age. There are too many contending forces and issues. I supported your predecessor to the best of my ability and promise to help you to the extent you desire. ọmọ Ọ̀wọ́ adé okú ewu iná kan kì í pàwòdì. Aláàfin ikú bàbá yèyé, kádé pẹ́ lórí, kí bàtà ó pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, kí ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ ó jẹ kó dọkìnni. Láyé orógbọ́n ayé rójú, láyé àrẹ̀sà ayé kúkú tòrò, láyé Aláàfin Abímbọ́lá kí ìgbà kó tutù nílé tàlejò, kí ara kó dẹ tọmọdé tàgbà. Àwọn alálẹ̀ á sì tì ọ́ lẹ́yìn. Ǹlẹ́ ọmọ òjò pa ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́dẹ Àtìbà, ọmọ kú tí kú ò gbọ́dọ̀ pa. Ó di dandan kó o dádé yìí pẹ́, o kú oríire. Àwọn aláṣekù á sì bá ọ ṣe. Títìrì méje là á kọ́ ọmọ Aláàfin, ilá tìrì lákó, ìkóǹkó tìrì mọ́yán, ilá tìrì lákó, ikàn tìrì wẹ̀wù ẹ̀jẹ̀, ìkóǹkó tìrì mọ́yán, àwọn tìrì mẹ́ja, àwọn tìrì pẹ́já. Ọmọ Ọ̀wọ́ adé, mo bá ọ yọ̀, o kú oríire. Eléyìí ló wá látọwọ́ bàbá wa Professor Falola. Mr. Ọládẹ̀jọ, mi rántí orúkọ kejì tó tẹ̀lé wa. So Mr. Michael Ọládẹ̀jọ, God bless you sir, mi ò ní wáyé tì. Now àpilẹ̀kọ tí bàbá wa Professor Toyin Falola tí wọ́n fi advice ọba Ọ̀wọ́ adé nù. Lára ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá wò sáà ẹ rí i pé ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ nínú ẹ̀. Ilé ìtọ́jà jù ni pé kí Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ adé kó ṣe papọ̀ pẹ̀lú Ifẹ̀. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó tún dà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé kí Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ adé kó má jìjà àgbà. But unfortunately méjèèjì ńlá Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ adé ò mú ṣe. Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ adé ń jìjà àgbà. Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ adé ò bá lé Ifẹ̀ ṣe. Ló fa rúkèrúdò, ló fa dàrúdàpọ̀. Ìyẹn jẹ jáde nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí Professor Toyin Falola sọ. Bó láti ṣe òun náà ni pé kó lè bá wọ̀ record, a ní láti establish ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tiwọn, pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run. So now gbogbo ẹ̀yọ́ ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire bí tẹ́ bá wò dáadáa ẹ máa rí wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn nǹkan tá a ti sọ tàbí tá a ti ṣe sẹ́yìn òun náà ló wá ń padà jẹ jáde yìí. So àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá sọ ó wà nínú fọ́nrán àkàálẹ̀, bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pórí ètò kan wọ́n ti ṣe. A tọrọ àǹfààní àtòrí ọ̀fẹ́ láti establish ẹ̀, ká play ẹ̀, á wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa rẹ̀. Àánú Olódùmarè ò ní fi sílẹ̀ o, ẹ má bínú pé mo gbà á kò yín lásìkò tá a wà yìí. Wàhálà àti ìdààmú kéré ó tóbi kò ní mọ̀nà lé wa. Mo lè mọ́ láǹfààní àti gbà pé torí pé àkókò ti lọ. Mo fọlọ́run búra, èmi gángan mọ̀ pé àpilẹ̀kọ yẹn pọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Tèmi ni pé mo kàn gbé, mo sì gbé sórí fóònù bẹ́ẹ̀. N ò mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n ká àwọn èèyàn wò be like kí ló lè tó bẹ́ẹ̀, kí ló ń kà báyìí. Àmísà o, God bless you ma, God bless you sir, God bless you ma, ẹ ṣé pọ̀. So lágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ̀já má lè rí ká mọ̀ dọ́là, ṣùgbọ́n ká bẹ Ọlọ́run kọ́lọ́run ó já dọ̀la, kọ́lọ́run ó já jọ̀la lọ. Torí pé Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè ló ní déédéé, mo sì lọ́ lásìkò lọ́dọ̀. Ẹ̀mí tá a fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí tàwa kọ́ o, èyí sàwa lónìí o. Bàbá tó ní kò sí ntọ́ kan ń gba pé mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan bọ̀ mo fẹ́ sọ parí. Kò sí ntọ́ kan wípé ìyàwó mi ń bẹnu oyún, kò sí ntọ́ kan pé ọkọ mi wà lójú ọ̀nà. Ìgbà tó bá wù ú ni máa ń gbà á. Ẹ̀bẹ̀ lábẹ́ Ọlọ́run kọ́ mọ́ sí ìgbà báyìí kó fún wa lórí ọ̀fẹ́ àtàǹfààní láti tún jọ ríra padà. ká tó láǹfààní àti ti ríra lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà. I love you, I appreciate you all. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ra síkà fún mi ẹ̀ ní mòṣe ẹ̀ ní mọ̀yẹ ẹ̀ ní mọ̀ bànújẹ́. Tẹ́ bá ń pín mẹ́ta òní ní àìní òní tọ́ sí yìn. Ẹ ti ní ẹ̀ ní daláìní lágbára Ọlọ́run mo mọ rírì yín o. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí n lo àmì fàágùn kí n yọ̀ǹda yín kẹ́ẹ̀rì sùn. Mi ò rò pé mo lé èèyàn tó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí eléyìí tá a sọ yìí. Mi ò rò bẹ́ẹ̀ tí n bá ní kí n máa gbà pé àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé kí ni máa ń kán mi lójú. Èmi wá sọ pé iye àsìkò táwọn èèyàn ò fi wò ó ni máa ń kán mi lójú because time yín máa ń wà lórí ẹ̀mí mi tí n bá ń sọ̀rọ̀. Màá máa wò pé time àmì sà àmì o so àmọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀ náà ni irú àwọn Professor Toyin Falola yìí àwọn ti dàgbà stage táwọn wà àwọn ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀ ni mi mà bóyá mo rẹ́ nìkan àbí èèyàn méjì tó fẹ́ pè mí láàrin ìṣẹ́jú méjì náà ni +234 915 147 9599 +234 915 147 9599 tàbí +234 904 851 9362 eléyìí tó bá jẹ́ ń bẹ̀ tẹ́ a bá rí èèyàn tó pè wọlé a máa wo táìmù 60 seconds tó bá ti pé a máa kọ́ọ̀tì ẹ̀ padà lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ọ̀rọ̀ wà nílẹ̀ tá a fẹ́ sọ ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ nínú ìwé ìlú lágbára Ọlọ́run àsìkò tó tá a jàrọ̀ àwọn èèyàn kan pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Tóyìn Fálọlá. So kì í ṣe pé mo wá láti wá sọ pé tèmi ló dáa jù ṣùgbọ́n mo wá láti wá yin Ọlọ́run pé at least bí mi sọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n mo ronú bí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n at least bí mi kì í sòǹpìtàn mo lè wádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ láti mú òdodo jáde tàbí n tó fara pé òdodo jáde níta bá wá tó jẹ́ pàwọ́ ṣèwádìí ẹ̀ fúnra lára wa tíró àwọn Professor Tóyìn Fálọlá ń wá sọ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí ọpẹ́ ìyìn ògo sí Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè. So with that mo rí ká ẹnìkan pè mí ń bí báyìí but mi mà bóyá ó ń tọ́ máa láǹfààní àti pè padà láti UK tẹ́ bá láǹfààní àti pè padà máa pìkẹ́ o +234 915 147 9599 àti +234 904 851 9362 ìṣẹ́jú kan ni o ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé o ń máa wo seconds ẹ o God bless you. Hello sir. Hello. Yes sir.
Kókó ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o.
Yes sir.
Ẹ kú Ọlọ́run ní gba ọpọlọ yín kò ní pa làákàyè yín
Àmín o.
Lọ́tún sí mi.
Àmín.
Ẹni jẹ̀bi ní orí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí o.
Àmín.
Tẹ́rí gbogbo nǹkan tí gbogbo wa kàn sọ látọjọ́ yìí ó dẹ̀bẹ̀ ni pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn àgbà ṣe máa ń pa ní òwe pé wọ́n ní bá a gún
ìyẹn nínú ewé
bá a lọ lọ́lọ́.
Àtọ̀ ò nítorí ẹ̀ kó pàwàdà.
Kò ní pàwọ̀ ẹ̀dá. Ibi tèmi tiẹ̀ ń lọ ní pé àwọn tó ń pa ìtàn fáwọn lẹ́gbọ́n àwọn ni olórí ayé àwọn náà ni ìran àwọn náà ni mú àwọn náà ní igi ẹ̀yìn yìí tí wọ́n bá ti fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tí wọ́n bá máa pé àwọn tó bẹ̀ pé àwọn náà ní gbogbo nǹkan kí wọ́n máa pe ẹlòmíín pé bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ìnáwó wọ́n ṣe ṣe kan kí wọ́n máa pe ọmọ ìlú kankan kí wọ́n máa pe ará ìlú wọn nìkan síbẹ̀. àwọn fi dá yẹn lọ́lá àwọn fún yẹn lóye yìí kí wọ́n máa fún àwọn ará Ọ̀yọ́ wọn nìkan ní oyè kí wọ́n máa pe àwọn jóbélì àwọn gbogbo ìlú márùn-ún tí wọ́n jọba lé lórí kí wọ́n máa wá sí Ọ̀ṣun state kí wọ́n máa wá sí Ìbàdàn kí wọ́n máa wá sí Òṣogbo.
kán máa lọ sẹ́gbàá kán máa lọ Ìjẹ̀bú.
kán máa lọ sí Ẹ̀gbá kán máa lọ Ìjẹ̀bú kán máa lọ Ògùn sí.
kán máa lọ Èkìtì.
kán máa lọ Lagos láti lọ mú ẹnìkan kan gbé àwọn fẹ́ fún lóyè kán máa fún ara wọn lóyè kán máa lọ ilẹ̀ Haúsá gan tí wọ́n ń lọ. Ilé Ifẹ̀ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ tún bá jẹ ìjà àgbà nìyí wọ́n mọ̀ pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àgbà wọn ní ìpá àmì abẹ́ni ọmọ bá ìpá ibẹ̀ ló bá ìpá abẹ́ mi sọ́yìn láti lè dé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣà jẹ.
Yes sir.
Ṣé títí dé ẹni tẹ́ bá wò nínú ìtàn kì í tẹ́ ṣe ìtàn nǹkan tó jẹ́ gbélé ní tá a bá gbéra ní iṣẹ́ mọ̀ pé oríṣiríṣi àwọn ìlú náà ti ń ba Ifẹ̀ jórúkọ dé Ifẹ̀ Ọ̀dàn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ó wà ń bẹ̀.
Ifẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀ṣà.
Ó wà ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń jó ọmọ Ifẹ̀. Tí ṣe mọ̀ bó wà ń bẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ̀yin nìkan tẹ́ bá tún wò dáadáa tẹ́ tún lọ wò títí tó fi dé Kogi state.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ìyẹn ní Kogi State ìyẹn ni wọ́n pè ní Ifẹ̀ orúkọ tún Ifẹ̀ ni gbogbo wọn ti kúrò àwọn tí wọ́n mọ́ná ti ilé wọn àdẹ̀ sọ orúkọ yẹn nù tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n tún bá bàbá wọn jẹ́ orúkọ wọn bá bí tí wọ́n ti wá jẹ́ orúkọ.
Ìjẹ̀bú Ifẹ̀ ńkọ́? Ìjẹ̀bú Ifẹ̀ Ifẹ̀ Ọ̀dàn ìlú kan tún wà ní Ondo State ìlú yìí ibi kan sátún wà ní Ondo State gbogbo ẹni mo ṣe nǹkan ti ṣe research ló tó bí 8 tí wọ́n ń ba Ifẹ̀ jẹ́ orúkọ títí dé ní tí wọ́n sì wà ní ibẹ̀ ẹ̀yin kan ti ṣe research lórí ẹ̀ gbogbo ilé Ifẹ̀ ní gbogbo wọn yẹn ti kúrò wọn lẹ́ni tó bá dalẹ̀ yẹn ń bá jórúkọ yẹn mélòó ló bá wọn jórúkọ ìlú wo ló bá wọn jórúkọ kí wọ́n mú jáde tó jẹ́ pé òun Ọ̀yọ́ kìíní kan tó jẹ́ pé ó sì wà tó sì yẹn 60%. ó yé mi sá.
àwùsí gbogbo ìnáwó rọ tí wọ́n láwọn ṣe tí wọ́n ń fìyàn joyè tí wọ́n ṣe jẹ́ àdìgẹ́rì ìbá ṣèbí nǹkan tí wọ́n fi kọ́ náà nìyẹn tó dàbí ilé ẹbọra yìí.
mi láìkẹ́ sá.
kíní kọ́ wọ́n tún kọ́ Ifẹ̀
ilé Oòduà
wọn lọkọ wọn tún mọ àmì fi sórí orí kíní.
Aláàfin wọn àmì fi sórí Aláàfin.
wọn máa ń fi sórí ọ̀rọ̀. àfi bú wọn kì í ṣe pé yẹn fi ṣe nǹkan oṣù pàtó ọmọ bá ti fi tọ́mọ bá ti ń yájú sí bàbá ẹ̀ ó yẹ kí wọ́n bàtà fún ọlọ́jọ́ kò jẹ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni sá. God bless you sir. ẹ ṣe púpọ̀ sá. God bless you sir. ẹ ṣe mo dúpẹ́ sá. Yes sir. mi ò ní láǹfààní láti gba ìpè kankan ẹ̀rọ bínú kì í ṣe tàfojúdi o àákò ni ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi sẹ́ ní yẹ kí n máa fààyè lẹ̀ fún call èmi náà kọ́ time náà ni dáàdi náà ń pè mí bí o n sì tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kí n má gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yín dáàdi tẹ́ bá láǹfààní àti pè padà màá pì kẹ́ 091 5147 9599 091 5147 9599 tí n bá ti gbé kọ́ọ̀lù dáàdi mi ní gbé kọ́ọ̀lù mi mọ́ o. Hello dáàdi.
ẹ kú sí àná.
Yes sir wà ní sà.
ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́.
Yes sir.
ẹni nígbà tí mo ṣáàdù kíni èèyàn wa Professor Falola. rẹ́rìn nígbà tí mo ń ka àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn èèyàn ń kọ sí ó wá jẹ́ kí n rántí òyìnbó kan nígbà táwa náà dìbò aláwọ̀ funfun ẹ̀mọ̀ àwọn táwa ń bá tò láti jọ.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
fẹ́ pé a máa gbá àwọn ìwé ńláńlá wọ̀nyẹn bí abẹ́ lọ sí lẹ́kṣọ̀ níbì kan àwọn ìwé bí òwe lọ́ọ̀yà kankan àwọn encyclopedia britannica kankan.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni sá.
a sábà kó àwọn ìwé yẹn jọ já. so mo wá ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní local area kan lọ́dọ̀ àwọn òyìnbó yẹn máti a ní kí n give lecture máa ti ká gbogbo wọn sórí ọ̀gá mi kàn wá after ta parí program lọ́dọ̀ yẹn ọ̀gá mi kàn wá bá mi lónìí excuse me ó ní gbogbo nǹkan tí mò ń kọ gbogbo àwọn òyìnbó ńláńlá tí mò ń kọ yìí ó láwọn tí mò ń sọ sí ó ní wọn àgbọ́ ó ní wọn àmọ́.
wow.
ṣẹ́rí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí ti lé ní ó lọ sí mi 40 years báyìí.
wow.
ló gba tí mo rí nǹkan tó yẹ àwọn kan kọ sí ìgbà tẹ́ ń ka ilé ìyàwó Falola.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ọkọ rẹ́rìn.
ok àwọn èèyàn ń complain báyà bí.
jẹ́ rí ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ fún yẹn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ilé tó kó ìjọ̀dún.
wow.
òyìnbó ló sọ fún mi o.
wẹ̀.
ó ní gbogbo òyìnbó kíní kan tí mo sọ wọ̀nyí ó ní ṣe Cambridge ni mo wà ní àbí Harvard. So yeah, those kind of write-up are actually meant for possibly people in the university arena and for personal consumption. For personal consumption. I think he wrote it to the king himself.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
It's not for public consumption at all.
But on fi sí public náà ni.
Tó bá yẹ kó fi sí public. Maybe ó fẹ́ kó lọ into record pé òun kọ̀ọ̀kan báyìí.
Exactly.
Sí ọba báyìí.
Ó wà
àti oúnjẹ báyìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ó wà ní public àwọn newspaper kan gbé.
Àwọn chef àwọn yẹn kàn fẹ́ wọ́n fi polongo ara wọn náà.
So eléyìí náà kó kàn lè wà on record lásán ni.
So now ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Yes sir.
Etí mẹ́rin ló tó ní. I repeat myself. Etí mẹ́rin báyìí lodó ní. Ọmọ odó máa máa lu yá kí n gbọ́ o. Èèwọ̀ ni. Ọ̀rọ̀ àgbà. Màá tún sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Etí mẹ́rin
lodó ní.
Máa ń ní. Àwọn tó bá wọ́n jọ mọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà àbẹ́kìsì wọ́n á mọ mí ní nǹkan tí mo sọ yìí o. Tọ́ bá ti rí ìyá odó ní. Etí mẹ́rin lodó máa ń ní. Ọmọ odó máa lù yá ẹ̀ ó ṣe máa lù fà yá báyìí kò ní gbọ́. Ó ṣe rí nìyẹn o. Ire o.
God bless you daddy. Ó dàárọ̀ sir. Well, ní ìjẹ́lẹ̀ yìí lọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí bàbá mi ṣe sọ Professor Toyin Falola tí wọ́n mú ìmọ̀ràn yìí wá fún Aláàfin Ọ̀wọ́ Adé wọ́n mú wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ràn láti advice wọn èmi mú wá láti